Hello everyone, it is Middle-Aged Gamer Guy here. Welcome to TNGC, which is our Tuesday night gaming chat. This is our 16th show, and every week we talk about all the latest games that have come out in the last 7 days and all the latest news stories to basically hit our phones, and we'll discuss everything. And with me, back after a hiatus of last week, please welcome back my co-host, Mr. David Jones.
Good evening, sir. Did you miss me?
We did. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine, thank you, mate.
Good to see you. Chris, bless him, if he's watched this, did a great job standing in. And again, thank you to Chris for being with us last week. But good to have you back, Dave. In that hiatus, what have you been playing in the last 2 weeks?
I'm still going through Mass Effect Andromeda and Desperados 3. Still mostly enjoying them. I'm going to get to the point in Mass Effect Andromeda where it's kind of getting a little bit samey, really. I've been playing it that long, and you kind of end up doing the same sort of thing on each of the 5 planets that I've been to so far. So it's not as good as the original trilogy, but it's good enough just to sort of keep me ticking along with it. The main story seems all right. It's just some of the side content's a little bit, could be better.
Would you say then it's good for people who are not familiar with Mass Effect, a bit like me, that it would be a good starting point rather than play it after you've played the other 3?
Well, yeah, if you play this one, it doesn't matter that you would have missed the original trilogy. There's a few little callbacks to it and some of the dialogue you hear, but it's nothing that would really matter if you haven't played the originals.
Okay.
But I'd say if you had the choice, the original trilogy is better, definitely.
Okay. And you mentioned... Oh, sorry,
carry on. I was going to say, I think it helps those ones are a little bit more linear in the way they were set out. This one's got more sort of openish planets, not like huge open worlds, just more open, but not that great content-wise.
Okay.
They could definitely do better in the next one, I hope.
Okay. You mentioned also Desperados 3, which we literally streamed 2 Fridays ago on the channel. I only did the first 2 levels. I died a lot.
Oh, I have, mate. It is built for just save spamming. Keep pressing the F5 key on the keyboard for me to save. Constantly.
I was on easy mode, and I failed multiple times. But
oh yeah, I'm playing on easy as well. I looked at the option. I thought, I haven't played one of these games for ages. I'm just going to do it on easy. And died plenty of times.
It's not easy on easy. That's the funny thing. I don't think, but it's a good game. I like it. But yeah, easy mode is meant to be easy, and it's not. Now we got going back quite back in January, which seems like ages ago. We had our first show where we had 2 guests on, which was obviously Gov and Hales from Ireland. So we thought we'd do the same again. We'd get 2 guests on, but we've gone for like further apart. So we've got Mia, who's all the way from just down the road in Coventry. And then we've got Zilpher, who's all the way from Chicago, Illinois. So I'm going to introduce Mia first. Mia, you know Mia as one of our moderators. Mia, welcome to the show. How you doing?
Hi, I'm good.
Spouting a very nice middle-aged gamer guy top there. There you go. And a mug. Plug the merch. Plug the merch. Thank you. That's it. That's what you got to do. So, yeah. So thank you. What have you been playing, Mia?
A lot of Sea of Thieves and Minecraft mainly.
Okay.
Like a lot.
Because you recently you got your Xbox about 2 months ago, was it now? January, yeah.
Yeah.
So lots of Minecraft.
Yeah. The amount I spent on Minecraft is insane.
Is Minecraft you've been playing for a long time anyway?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've had it on my phone for ages. But I've only recently gotten it, obviously, on Xbox because I only recently got the thing. Yeah.
And what do you like about Sea of Thieves?
I just like it. It's fun.
Yeah.
I can go around killing things.
Before.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Taking a sip. Now, Mia has been seen on a couple of Sea of Thieves missions. And luckily, the other moderator's not here, so we're not going to bring up about the exploding barrel thing. Because that...
What exploding barrel? Nothing happened.
Yeah. Never happened. Never happened. Don't know what he's on about, but there you go. We're going to welcome our other guest. Please welcome Gabriella, also known to you as Zilpher. Hello.
Hi.
How you doing? You all right?
I'm great.
Thank you so much for joining us. And it's about, what is it? It's about 4 o'clock, just after 4 o'clock. Have I got that right?
It's 4:10.
4:10 in the afternoon. So thank you for joining us. Gabriella was like, whoa, I don't get up this early for stuff like this. So there you go. Welcome to the show. Say, also for those that know in our Discord community, will know Gabriella as Zilpher. Discord was there. He was just being silent. Fair enough. He'll probably bring that up in a bit, but there you go. So there you go. Welcome. What games have you been playing recently, Gabriella?
I play a lot of Sims and Dead by Daylight.
Yeah.
And some Animal Crossing, Smash Bros.
Okay, cool. So you're a bit of a Nintendo fan then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's a good thing you mentioned Dead by Daylight because we will be talking about that a little bit later on. Because that's a game that, well, I enjoy. It scares the hell out of me, but I enjoy it. What do you prefer, being a victim or being the killer? Because I know lots of people have different opinions.
I play a little bit of both. So both roles are fun.
But you've not got any preference over the other one?
No.
Okay, that's cool. I know there's quite a few people that I know that are like that, or you find there are people who go, "Oh, I want to be the killer." Or there's I think there's less people that always like to be the person trying to escape, but I actually think that's more fun, me personally. Yeah. But that's me. Anyway, right. Well, thank you for joining us. Let's crack on with the show. As mentioned, we've got 10 games that came out between Wednesday last week and today. And our first game, which is probably, I'd say, the biggest name game because it's the newest game. There are some other big name games, but they're pretty much rehashes of games that have already been out. This first game is Monster Energy Supercross 4. So surprise, surprise, this is the fourth one. This came out last Thursday and is out on PlayStation 4, 5, Xbox One, Xbox Series S, Xbox Series X, PC, and Stadia, but not on Switch, unfortunately. That's the only one it's not come out on. So I am going to play the trailer for this. What I'd like to do is we will talk about the game, our opinions on it, whether it's something we want to play, whether we're familiar with the other games or not. But also in the chat, tell us what you think. And then we're going to basically give you a score out of 10 based on all the reviews that's got. So both Mia and Gabriella are going to try and guess what this game got, and we'd like the chat to guess as well. But here we go with the first trailer. This is Monster Energy Supercross 4. Here we go. So there you go. That is Monster Energy Supercross 4. They paid a lot of money for that sponsorship, so I need to make sure I get the name right. I say fourth one in the motocross series. Basically, a ton of racing. Is it something? It's got nothing to do with monsters. You're correct, Tunes. Has nothing to do with monsters at all. It is motorbike racing in stadiums and over courses. I'll start with Dave. Have you ever played any of these or tried any of them, or is this the kind of racing game you would try?
I can't say I'd heard of them. I hadn't even realised there was 3 previous ones to this. So it's first time I've heard of the series, and most crosses isn't something I've ever really bothered with. So it's not a game I'd rush out and buy. I think I've said it a number of times over the past weeks. If it pops up on Game Pass, I'll happily have a look at it. Yeah. But I did read a little bit about it earlier. It does sound like it's not that easy to get into if you haven't played them before. Quite a steep learning curve, and apparently it doesn't do a very good job of explaining some of the basic mechanics that you need for some of the races, which isn't a good thing. Yeah, they put more into tutorials for that to help newcomers out, but apparently not. But say on Game Pass, yes. Otherwise, no, I'd pass.
Okay. Well, it's not on Game Pass yet. It's come out as a full-priced game. at the moment. Gabriella, would this be your kind of thing, or are you familiar with any of these in the series?
If I'm probably with someone and they're playing this, I'll play it because it's there, but it's not something I would personally get.
Okay.
So,
are you a fan of kind of racing games generally, or is it not your kind of genre?
It's not my kind of thing.
Okay. All right. Mia, what are your thoughts on this?
I'm the same as Zilpher. Like, if it was there, I'd play it, but it wouldn't be something I'd like go and get myself to specifically play, sort of thing. It's like it's not like my sort of thing because I've never really liked racing.
Okay.
To be honest, but if it was there and like I was at like a mate's house, I'd play it. Okay.
All right. Well, in the chat, let us know what you think this might have scored. As I say, this came out last Thursday. What I tend to do is get all the scores from the internet as much as I can, chuck them all in. That's charming, Lou. Thanks. Yeah, I like the fact he says, "Hey, Dave, hey, Mia, hey, Zilpher," and then insults me. Thanks, mate. Nice to see you too.
You'll have to change your banner now.
I know. I'll have to change my name to that word. So we get a load of scores. I'll try and get the average score. So I'll tell you kind of a bit about what they said in the review. They've said not a lot has changed since the third one, even though by the looks of this, all four of us didn't know there was even a third game, let alone a second and a first one. But they did say, whereas some of the physics and stuff are quite good, like you're driving in sand and it does feel heavy turning the bike and it seems realistic, some of the bits are a bit not forgiving because you have to earn points to get upgrades for your bike, which sounds fine. But when that affects the steering, when you're first playing, it makes the steering very heavy. So you have to unlock things to make the steering as it would be in a normal racing game, which seems a bit weird. They also said that, obviously, Dave says there's a lack of training in it, but there are some practice courses. But the practice courses are not very forgiving because even when you've got to do the simple go through the slalom of the gates, if you do a jump and actually go over the gate instead of going through the gate, it says you've missed the gate, even though you've done it in a perfect straight direction. So there's quite a few bugs to do with some of the training stuff. So based on that, what do we think that is? What do we reckon? I see Discord has said a 7. Tunes has said a 7. Lou has said a 6. Hi, I know you've got to go off, Lou, but thanks for popping in and saying hi. And thanks for saying that you like the posters. Appreciate that. Mia, what do you reckon this has got score-wise?
Probably go with a 7 as well.
Okay, 7, Gabriella?
Maybe 7.5.
Okay, 7.5. Dave?
I'll go for a 6, I think.
Okay. I could tell you now, it got, Lou got it right and Dave got it right. It got a 6 out of 10. It says, if you've never played it, it's all right. If you played the other ones, you're not really getting anything new. In fact, they've made some things that have actually made it not as good as the last one. But it's an okay racing game. So it gets a 6 out of 10. There you go. So that was Monster Energy Supercross 4, which is out for PS4, 5, Xbox Series XS, Xbox One, PC, and Stadia. Not that anyone plays Stadia, but there you go. Our next game is something very different. This is based on a number of other games. This is supposed to be the first of 3 games. It is a kind of a point-and-click comedy, or I should say adult comedy adventure. This is Cyanide and Happiness. I like the trailer for this one. The game is called Cyanide and Happiness Freak Apocalypse. I'm going to play the trailer and we'll discuss it. Let's have a look. Here we go.
In the sleepy little town of Netherton, Coop is just your average high schooler.
Everyone, point and laugh!
Trying to fit in.
What drives you?
I guess I've always wanted to help people with their troubles and problems. You know, kind of like a superhero.
Look, there he is.
He's using ingenuity.
But Coop's world is about to get flipped upside down.
Hello?
A new adventure game. Not all heroes wear capes. Some wear backpacks.
Seriously! Where are you going?
The ultimate interactive experience.
Please don't interact with me.
It's all right. I cry when I poop too.
It has action. Drama.
We're coming to kick your ass, you little queen!
Romance. And freaks.
Try not to make anybody's life worse in the process. I'm sorry. Here, let me help.
No, don't try to help.
Cyanide and Happiness. Freak apocalypse.
Here you go. So that is Cyanide and Happiness, Freak Apocalypse. So this is not geared at kids. We're going to say that straight away. This is not a kids game. This is based on an adult comic strip. It's a side-scrolling point-and-click adventure. It is supposed to be the first of 3 games that they're bringing out. So the game itself is actually only about 4 hours long. But it's if you like your point-and-click adventures and you like your humour, if you like things like Rick and Morty or Robot Chicken, then I think you'd appreciate this. Dave, what are your thoughts on this?
I thought it looked okay. I'm not familiar with the comic strip that it's part of. I think I've seen the odd one when I've been searching around online, but never read it properly. So I guess it'll probably help if you're familiar with that, recognise some of those characters that are in there. I do like point-and-click adventures, and the humour that was in it looked okay. So I might give it a look. But you say it's only 4 hours, isn't it? So if it's part of a trilogy, I might wait until they've got all the games out, so you can just play it all together.
Yeah,
might be the better way to play it.
Okay, Mia, what are your thoughts on this?
I really like the look of it. Like that sort of thing. That's just like my sense of humour to a T.
Yeah.
So I absolutely loved it.
Okay. And Gabriella, what do you think?
I am very familiar with the comic strip. They are hilarious. So this is something I would totally play.
Okay, cool. That's good to hear. There's already people guessing scores. Discord says 8 out of 10 due to the following on YouTube. Tune says 8 out of 10. What I'll say is they said it's very similar in vein to the South Park games, which were point-and-click adventures, but not with the sort of turn-based combat. There's no real combat. They did say that it's very funny as a game, but it's also very short for the fact it's only 4 hours long. But obviously, if there's going to be other games, that will total at 12 hours. They did say that for the fact the name behind the game is a bit misleading because that apocalypse stuff doesn't actually happen until right at the end of the game. So there's a good half of the game is where you're just in school. But they did say it's quite funny. Based on that, what scores do we think it got? Gabriella, I'll start with you.
Maybe an 8.
Okay. Mia?
9.
9. Dave?
I'll go a bit lower because the length of it might have held it back score-wise. So I guess a 7.
Okay. You might be shocked then to find out it got a 5 out of 10.
Ooh.
The reason, right. So the reason being, I know everyone's like, why? They've said it was going to be. It's funny. However, for a point-and-click adventure, it's very basic. It's very easy to solve puzzles, like ridiculously easy. And they even said they only use kind of 3 of the same puzzles over and over again. And they said there was even points where they were playing the game and went into a room and like did something and picked up an object. And then later on went somewhere where the quest was, oh, why don't you go to such and such room and pick up the object? And I'm like, well, I've already done that. Here's the thing. And they were like, so that kind of defeats the point. You could actually skip a lot of the game just by going exploring. Like it's supposed to be linear, but it's not that linear. And they just said that it wasn't really, it makes for a good comic book, but doesn't make for a great game. they are hoping that it will be better as, and they said the story doesn't make much sense either. It's like lacking story until the last half an hour of the game. So unfortunately, it gets a 5 out of 10. That came out on Thursday last week, Thursday 11th, is out on PC and Nintendo Switch. So we're going to move on to a new story. We're going to talk about probably the biggest news story this week was literally after we finished last week's show, it was announced that Microsoft and Bethesda had signed the deal, that Bethesda is now part of Microsoft, and lots of new and exciting things were going to happen. And then literally on the Thursday last week, they did a round table press conference with the heads of Bethesda and the heads of Xbox to basically say what was happening. And they started with the launch by putting 20 games on Game Pass for PC and Xbox. These include pretty much all the Doom games, a load of the Skyrim games, the Evil Within, Rage, loads of the Fallout games, and numerous other. There's 20 titles that have gone on Game Pass as of Thursday, with more to come on. But the biggest question was, what does this actually mean for Bethesda? Because PlayStation has got 2 exclusives coming out very soon, which are Bethesda games. But does that mean Microsoft are going to get exclusives? How's this going to work? So from what we got told at the little roundtable press conference, and it wasn't a lot, there will be more games coming to Xbox. And generally, the majority of games will come to Xbox first. But beloved franchises like Skyrim, Fallout, Doom, etc., will come out all on the same platforms at the same day. It just means if you've got Game Pass, you're at an advantage because you're not going to have to pay for it. There will be Xbox and PC exclusives coming out in the future, but games like Deathloop and there's another one which is PlayStation.
It's Ghostwire Tokyo, I think.
Ghostwire Tokyo, thank you. They are going to remain exclusive for now to PlayStation because those deals were signed way before this deal was signed with Microsoft. All I'm going to say about the 20 games, it was nice that 20 games appeared on Game Pass. But ironically, most of them are already available on Game Pass. They've either already been on Game Pass or they're already sitting on Game Pass. So actually, there was only about 6 games out of the 20 that have not been on there before, which I'm a bit like, that wasn't big news. But it was nice to see that there could be big name games, especially new franchises that are going to be joining that thing. Thank you, Pixie, for the raid. Dave, I'll start with you. Are you excited about this?
I think it'll be interesting to see what they do with these exclusives going forward. If they do try and keep things like the next big RPG, Starfield, and then Elder Scrolls 6 exclusive to Game Pass and Xbox PC, whether they do let, like say, Elder Scrolls 6 come onto PlayStation, I can just imagine the internet going wild. All those PlayStation owners who can't get hold of it, if they do make it exclusive, there'll be a lot of upset people there. So it'd be interesting to see. It's nice to know that having the Xbox, we're going to get these games day one on the platform. I'm going to go out and buy it, anything like that. It's just there. I think that's really good. I felt the same as you when those games came up last Friday. I pretty much played all the ones already that I wanted to play. All the good ones from Arcane, like Dishonored and Prey. Already done them. It's nice that they've done some extras on them, though. They've done the FPS boost on a few of those games. So I think Skyrim and Prey and a couple of others have got 60 FPS if you've got the newer consoles, which is really cool. I like the way they're adding that stuff just to improve them.
I think there's some games I would revisit. I've never played The Evil Within. I said this on this channel, but it's something I'll probably play now because it's there. And then there's some games I would revisit. Dishonored 2, I've played many a time. But the first Dishonored, I'd probably go back and play that because it's going to have all the new graphics. So I'd give that a whirl. What about you, Zilpher? Is this something that you're quite happy about, or are you not fussed about it? You're not fussed. Is there any sort of Bethesda games that you do like out the ones we've mentioned? Because you've got Skyrim, Dishonored, Wolfenstein, Doom, Fallout. Is any of those particular favourites of yours, or are you kind of not really a Bethesda person?
I'm not really like into like the whole like shooting thing.
Mm.
I like games that are like more like settle and calming.
Okay. So you're like, because I know like Mia said she likes Minecraft. Are you like kind of like a Minecraft fan? No, you're not.
No. I've played Minecraft and I just thought it was really boring.
I mean, you're not the only one. I'm not a massive fan of Minecraft, I'll be honest, but I know loads of people love it. Mia, what do you reckon about this? Being a person that's got an Xbox, would you say, "Oh, this is great because now I've got a load of new games I may have never played before"?
I think it's pretty cool because like some of the games I've heard of, and like know are like quite big, but I've never thought that I would play them. But now I know that they're coming to like Xbox, I might actually like play them a bit more. Yeah, which would be good.
And I'd just like to say for the person who spammed the chat, fuck you. Yeah, Mia just spammed you from the channel. Don't ever spam in my chat. You're not welcome here. Bye. That's what happens. So there you go. Sorry to interrupt you, Mia. I just said that because I noticed you blocked them and banned them, which is great. They deserved it. I love the fact you put the reason is they're a twat. So there you go. Perfect. So there you go. Yeah, it's true. Spammers are twats. So, I mean, the one good thing would say is what they have said is it's not like Microsoft have bought Bethesda out directly. They are still going to be working independently. It just means a lot of the exclusives or day one releases will come to Xbox and PC. But it means that people like ID that obviously do Doom, Machine Games that does the Wolfenstein, obviously Arcane that does Prey, Dishonored, are all still going to be working separately. So it's not like you see some corporate takeovers like EA come in and go, right, we're buying these things up and completely wreck the game studios. They're going to be left to do what they need to do. And I think that's great news as far as I'm concerned. I think that's going to be a great partnership. So we shall see what comes out and what exclusives may come out. But there you go. We're going to move on to our next lot of games. Now, this is one that Zilpher said she likes playing. Dead by Daylight has been around for over 5 years. Can you believe that? 5 years. And
not that long.
I know, it doesn't feel like 5 years at all. But it's a game that's much loved. We have played it on this channel. Tom, we even did this as last month's VIP stream. However, it has finally made it to PlayStation 5. And a lot of people, because it's cross-platform, have done reviews, because some games that get more content added, they do like a review every year to let us know how the games come on. So it's kind of a mixed review between PS5 and all other platforms, because it is literally on all other platforms. Let's have a quick look at the PlayStation 5 launch trailer for Dead by Daylight, and we'll have a chat about this much-beloved horror game. Here we go. So there you go. That is Dead by Daylight, the PlayStation 5 version. Hello to Annoying. Thanks for popping in. And send love to Vinny back. I know we got his Dark Souls stickers and his mug today, so he's well chuffed. Get your mugs from the merch store. Plug. He was very happy. We went all the way to Belgium. We only sent it on Friday, and it turned up on his doorstep on Monday. So good to the people who've got it posted out to me. So thank you. So since Zilpher is a big fan of Dead by Daylight, let's start with Zilpher. Why do you love this game so much?
I think because it's more like strategy. Yeah, and I love like the horror thing. I love anything to do with horror.
is there any particular, because they said there's now 28 different murderer characters, including all the DLCs. Is there any in particular that you really like playing as?
No, not really. I got it on Nintendo, so there aren't the same things that you get from like other systems.
Right, okay.
But mine is like really old, so I don't know.
Okay. Because they've added a ton of stuff from everything from Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, Scream, Stranger Things, and I think the most recent one they added was Pyramid Head from the Silent Hill games, I think. So they keep adding stuff to it.
I'll probably have to check it out.
Yeah, it's definitely worth playing. It's great fun, and we will probably stream it again on here. So you could probably jump on a stream with us, Zilpher. So that'd be cool. Mia, you've played this as well, I know, and it scares the death out of you sometimes. What are your thoughts on this game?
I love it.
Plain and simple.
Yeah. I just like it when, like, especially when on like the VIP stream, just going around, because we were like actually like talking to each other and not just playing with complete strangers.
Yeah.
Like just like going around and surprising people like randomly behind them with a chainsaw and to be like, "Hi, I'm gonna kill you now." Is one of my like favorite aspects about it. And like, I get so scared. Like when I'm the victim and like running away, I don't do any gens. Like I just run or hide.
Yeah.
Quite often. So quite often you'll find me hiding in one of the cupboards.
Dave, have you played this, and what are your thoughts on it?
No, I've never played it. I've watched you stream it once in the past, but no, I'm not one out here. Never played it. I can't say it ever really appealed to me when I looked at it. Also, it looks a little bit janky in the way it sort of looks control-wise. So I just ended up skipping it and never gone back to it. And I can't say I'd really be fussed about playing it with completely random people. It sounds like it'd be more fun playing with people you know, like Mia said. I mean, it's always quite fun when you play a game with people you know, especially if it's like a shooting one or a killing one. It's kind of fun. You just sneak around, kill your friends in these games. Good laugh. So I'd play it like that. That'd just be more fun. Wouldn't bother playing it with random people there.
They did say, I mean, even when people reviewed, they said they always find the better way is if you can get a group of friends and play it on cross-platform. It's so much more fun because you can be clever about how you're going to try and escape and do that. Whereas if you're with random people, you're not going to know what they're trying to do or what their plan is. Are they going to go for the generators first? Are they going to ttry and sneak around? You don't really know. So if you're with a group of people that you know, that normally works. So this is a complete port over to PS5 and is updated. What scores do we think this got out? And this has actually been out for quite a while. It's just that they've only just started to get the reviews out in the last couple of weeks for this. So, Zilpher, what do you reckon this got for PS5?
Probably like an 8.5.
Okay, 8.5. Mia?
9.
9. Dave?
I'll go for an 8.
An 8. Now, Tunes has said it includes all the DLC, which I believe is true. So you do get all 28 killers on the PS5 version, but you're probably going to end up paying the price tag for it. Tunes says 8. Kuda says a 9. Hello, Kuda. Good to see you. Discord says 666 because it's the sign of the devil. Well, it got a 9 out of 10. They said it was absolute solid port of the game. And the fact you get the DLC in it as well, bonus. So if you haven't played this and if you've got a PlayStation 5, you lucky person, then I would recommend getting it because it is great fun. And I'm sure we will be playing it on this channel again. Right, moving over to something very different and onto a platform that we don't talk much about, Stadia. It's another Stadia game. I think this is only the second time we've done a game where we're only talking about on Stadia. This is a game called Pixel Junk Raiders. Now, again, this actually came out 2 weeks ago, but the reviews have only started coming out in the last week. So we're going to watch out for the trailer of this. I will talk about games it's very similar to. Have a look at the trailer and we'll discuss what we think about this. This is Pixel Junk Raiders on Stadia. So there we go. That is Pixel Junk Raiders. So for those who might not be familiar with it, it is a game very similar to games like Dead Cells and Hades, where you're basically in a procedural generated area. So every time you play, it's different. You start on a planet. You basically can go explore. You're given very little lives and very little energy. So you're encouraged to explore, to get upgrades, better weapons. And then you basically go attack the enemies and try and complete and get off the planet. That is pretty much, we've seen a lot of games that look like that. And then the graphical style, as you've said, Mia, it's very No Man's Sky-ish graphically wise. Hello, Lady Red. Thank you for the lurk as well. Good to see you here. So it's a very sort of that kind of style game. I'll start with Mia. Is this a game that you would play, or you're familiar with Dead Cells or Hades? Is this the kind of thing you would play where if you get killed, you start back again and it's all different and it's rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat?
I've never heard of like those games before, so it probably wouldn't be the sort of thing I'd play. Because if like that sort of thing of like getting killed and then starting completely fresh, knowing absolutely nothing, I don't like that sort of aspect of things. I like it where if I get killed, I get put back into somewhere that I'm more familiar with. Like in other games where I die and I respawn somewhere that I actually know. And I can find my way back to where I was and stuff like that. So I prefer it like that. But to be honest, this wouldn't be the sort of thing I would actually play. Okay.
Zilpher, what do you think of this? Is this something that interests you?
It didn't really pique my interest. It looked like it was for like gamers who are like younger than me. Yeah. Probably like 10-year-olds, 12-year-olds.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it was due to the graphics.
Yeah, they are kind of semi-cartoonish, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think this is gonna? I'm gonna go to Dave. Do you think this is gonna, because it's only on Stadia, and it's like not many people have got Stadia, and I'm not doing that. I know I knock Stadia all the time on the show, but I'm not doing that this time. Do you think this is gonna do well, or do you think it's just a bit of a maybe because they haven't got Dead Cells or Hades on Stadia, that's why this has come out?
Well, without knowing how many people actually use Stadia, it's hard to say, and it depends on how many would pay for the game as well, because I'm sure it's going to be full RRP on the platform, isn't it? They don't do anything really that cheap on there. So it could do all right on there. It looked like it's got that interesting feature with the save stakes that you can easily share around. That's something I think is built for the Stadia platform, which looked interesting. But I don't know. We might find that it does come with the platforms eventually, because Stadia doesn't seem to be doing a huge amount.
No.
So if they want to make the money back, they might have to release it elsewhere.
Okay.
Unless it does come out of the platforms, it's not something I'll ever get around to playing. Not I could say it really appealed to me. I'm not a huge fan of that, the roguelike genre either. So I prefer my sort of games, story A to B more or less. You know, got a good start, middle, and end. I prefer those sort of things. God of War's a good example. Absolutely love that with its story. Fantastic game. These sort of roguelites don't really grab me.
I'd say that Dead Cells, which is also on Game Pass, is great fun. It's not something I would have played, but I played it because it was in Game Pass. That was great. And has got a big following. And Hades, which I think we talked about on this show before Christmas, didn't get great scores, but it seems to have got a massive following and it sold really well. So this possibly could get totally overshadowed. One, because it's only on Stadia. And two, there's other games out there that probably do it better. What do we think that this got out of 10 in the reviews this week? I'd like to see in the chat, put your scores. I'm going to circle back round. I'll go to Mia first. What do you think this got?
5.
Okay. Zilpher?
I'm going to say a 5.
Okay. And Dave?
I'll try a 6, I think.
Try a 6. Annoying Loud fan, great to see you. Have a great evening. Thanks for tuning in. Tune says a 6 out of 10. Not really my thing, so he's going with you, Dave. Well, it got 4 out of 10.
Ooh, pretty bad then.
I
Yeah.
was going to say that as well.
You were close. You were both you and Zilpher were close with 5s. It's not particularly great. It's not particularly interesting. There are other games that do this so much better. They've said that there's other games that when you die and you start over, you can get all your bits and pieces together and then go off and go back. This literally wants you to go off, go explore as much. So you can't really get into the action straight away. And it's rinse and repeat. And it does get very dull very quickly. And therefore, it gets a 4 out of 10, which is going to be our lowest scoring game of today. I can tell you that now. So there you go. So we're going to move on to another news story. Just to say that Pixel, if you have got Stadia and you do fancy playing that game, Pixel Junk Raiders, it is out now. And it came out on Stadia, and that's all I can say about it. But it's not got good reviews. Talking about another indie game. So an indie game has hit the headlines this week, and it was a game we talked about on the show last week, which none of us knew about. We talked about Loop Hero. And we were sitting here going, well, I don't know anything about it. And we played the trailer, and I explained that it's a game where you basically, it's a dungeon crawler, but the roles are reversed, and you play the dungeon master, and you're trying to stop people. And King of Queens, who was on the show last week, and Chris were like, oh, that sounds really cool. I like that. And it got really decent reviews. It has sold over 500,000 copies in less than a week. It is the most successful indie game of recent years. So a game that hardly anybody knew about and literally got announced like a couple of days before it came out, that got rave reviews, has shifted over 500,000 copies, which is amazing. Dave, I'm guessing you're not familiar with this because obviously you couldn't be on the show last week.
No, I hadn't heard of it at all, mate.
Yeah, this is good news for indie games, though, isn't it?
Well, yeah, if they can do well, sell that amount of copies, it's probably still going strong, I guess, at the moment. Then, yeah, good for the studio. At the end of the day, they can keep making more.
Well, we've been seeing lots of, especially over the coming weeks. I could probably say there's only been 3 real AAA titles that we've talked about since January that have actually come out. All the rest are either rehashes or they're part of a series which isn't a AAA, or they are indie games. So, do we think that this shows that there is a bigger market for indie games? Mia, I'm going to start with you on this question. Do you prefer playing some indie games, or do you ever play indie games?
I've never actually played any indie games, to be honest, because I've never been the sort of thing I would go to and play or download or anything. But some of them do look good from what I've seen and what mates have said.
Yeah.
So some of them I may give them a go, but
okay. Would you give Loop Hero a go? Because I know you saw the trailer last week from the show. Is it something you'd like to be the dungeon master and go attack the heroes and stuff?
Yes.
Yeah.
I like that sort of thing.
Okay. Cool. And Gabriella, you said you like games that are kind of chilled out, and like, do you like kind of? There's quite a lot of indie games that are like that. Is that kind of the thing that you would go for?
Yeah, kind of.
Is that? Do you like? Sorry, go on.
No, it's fine. What were you gonna say?
I was going to say this is kind of different because even though it's the kind of thing where you are the dungeon master and going after, it is got, you can take your time about it. You can plan your dungeons and stuff. Is that again? Does that fit in with the kind of game that you would like?
Yeah, where you don't feel so rushed.
Yeah. Okay. So would you bearing in mind, I mean, Loop Hero came out. I've got to check my notes here. It was only PC. Only came out on the PC. If it came out on other platforms, would it be something you would play? You'd give a go?
Yeah.
Is that? I just have general knowledge with people.
Yeah.
So it was just geared at everyone with it because at the moment it's only on PC, but it came out on different platforms. Do you think you'd give it a go?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. We wish the people who made it was Devolver Digital that made Loop Hero. I've seen them showcase a number of their games, and I played quite a few of their other games. They are a very good independent software developer. So I want to say congratulations. If you've managed to shift 500,000 copies in your first week, that is outstanding. So well done to you. And I hope that more indie game developers follow in your footsteps. So there you go. Talking of indie developers, we're moving into our next game. And it's not really a game as such. I'll talk a little bit more. This originally came out on Stadia, but is now came out on PC Wednesday last week. This is let's call it software that you can create games. That's the best way to describe it, but it's a game in itself. This is Crayta, which came out Wednesday last week. We'll watch the trailer and then we'll discuss it and see if it's something that people are interested in. This is available in the Epic Games Store now. Let's check out the trailer. There you go. That is Crayta, which is came out on the PC last Wednesday. It is basically game within games where you can basically create your world, a bit like Minecraft. Has very sort of Fortnite style graphics, but you can make shooting games, space games, puzzle games, sports games, and then you share those games once you've made them and share them to the network for other people to play and rate. This is not the first time we've seen anything like this. Hello, Joran. How you doing? So, Dave, I know there was Dreams that came out for the PS4 that was well received. Lots of people made games like that. Is this something that you would have a look at, or do you think this is a market that's getting a bit oversaturated, or do you think this is a novel idea?
It's not something I'd choose to use myself. I can't say I'm that interested in making the games myself. I just prefer playing them. So I'll leave better people to make these things. I'll happily play through them. But it should be pretty good for people who got that creative side and want to make those sort of fun little games they can play with the friends and share out it nice and easily. But as you mentioned, Dreams is doing pretty good in the PlayStation 4. Before that, you had the Little Big Planet series, I think it was.
Yes.
That had a big creative side to it. So yeah, for the people who love it, yeah, go for it. Create these things and have a look at what you create.
Yeah. There was something else that popped in my head about this sort of thing. Was it? Do you think that I'll come back to that question because it's gone straight out of my head. I forgot what I was going to say. Mia, I know you said you like Minecraft and creating. Do you think this is something you would give a whirl?
It looks alright, but it does look in that trailer. It looks sort of Minecraft meets Sims meets No Man's Sky.
Yeah.
Like with the characters, that's like, be like that sort of thing that I would like play because it just looks like a sort of game that like after work, if I'm tired, I can just play, just to kill time or just have fun. So like that would be the sort of thing I'd go to. It's like a chill down game after work.
Yeah. So I can remember the question I was going to ask is Dreams that came out on the PlayStation 4 was very kind of like you've got all the tools to make a game and it was quite serious kind of thing. This seems like it's geared at a kid's angle because of like the graphics are very Fortnite-y, No Man's Sky kind of thing.
I did think Fortnite a few times in that trailer, so yeah, it would grab their interest. But you can already do some sort of creative stuff, can't you, in Fortnite itself?
Yeah.
It's got certain modes for that, hasn't it?
So do you think they're targeting kids? And I'll ask this question to Zilpher first. Do you think they're targeting kids to market it, but not in a bad way, because then it might get them into game development and they might go, well, I want to learn more and I want to make my own computer games. So do you think that's a good thing?
Well, yeah, kind of. It kind of like plays with like their imagination, which gets their brain juices flowing.
But it's something that I think is good. Because I'd rather have someone be more like expressive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's I mean, obviously they say like children's imagination is way better than adult because well, you become an adult and well, reality. But
for my age group, when I saw the trailer, it looked really hectic.
Yeah.
And kids like hectic things.
Yeah. I think they're probably Fortnite is a hectic game. They've got that very sort of artistic style. So you think they're trying to appeal to those kids that love Fortnite?
It's like Fortnite meets Sims.
Yeah. And it's weird because Sims is not known to be a hectic game. Well, it depends how you play it, I guess. But that's kind of, you know.
I think the only hectic thing about Sims is when you need to make money and you don't know how to.
Yeah. That's true.
Cheat codes.
That's true. Get them to go to a job or try and get them a promotion. So what do we reckon this got out of 10 with the scores? Pop it in the chat and let us know. Gabrielle, I'll start with you. What do you reckon?
Like an 8.5.
Okay, 8.5. Mia?
6.5.
6.5. Everyone's going for the 0.5s here. Dave?
I was going for a straight 7.
Okay, straight 7. And if we got anyone in the chat that wants to have a guess at what this got, bear in mind this is technically not a game, it's a game creator, but then you can play the games. Discord is saying a 7 out of 10 as well. Let's see if anyone else is going to drop anything in the next few seconds in the chat. Nope. Okay, so I can tell you that it got a 7 out of 10. So Dave and Discord got it right. They basically said it's great fun. It's not as good as creation software compared to other ones like Little Big Planet, as we said, and Dreams, etc. But for people who are starting out, it's a good place to start, and you can do lots with it. You can change the characters, you can change the scenery. It's a good place to start. So it gets a solid 7 out of 10. They just said they felt it was a bit odd that, seeing as it was on Stadia first and it's come to PC, how it's very much more geared to people that it would feel better on a console, the kind of thing that you make a game on a console rather than PC. So hence it gets 7 out of 10. Moving on to our next game, a very beloved character. And I know there's people in our community that plays these games. Last year, Crash Bandicoot 4 came out. Literally, this is very weird, on Friday, the Series X version came out for Crash Bandicoot 4 because it already came out on Xbox and PC. But between last Friday and the 26th of this month, the PlayStation 5 version comes out and the Nintendo Switch version comes out. So this game is only about just over, I think, a year old now. But we're going to check out the trailer for Crash Bandicoot 4, and I will come and talk about it, whether you're saying it is a beloved platformer of yours or whether you would rather play something else. Let's go have a look at the trailer. It's Crash Bandicoot 4. It's about time. Here we go.
Everything getting harder to find. Everybody jumping out of their mind. Everybody going out of their skin. See, we get to the end, but that's where we begin to feel it. No time to rest.
By my calculations, our enemies are already moving against us. We will prevail.
We're only here to make you go.
There you go. Short, sharp, and fast. That is Crash Bandicoot 4. It's about time. Dave, have you ever played any of... oh, hello, Walker. By the way, just saw you popped in the chat. Hello, Walker fan. Have you played any of the Crash Bandicoots?
I think I said to you before, probably when we just came up on a previous chat show. I've only really ever played the bit of Crash Bandicoot they put in Uncharted 4.
Yeah.
It's a little playable level where Nathan Drake and Eleanor are playing it. So I played that little bit, but otherwise, no. It's interesting to see that what once was a bit of a PlayStation mascot back in like the early days of the PS1 is now just multi-platform. It's just on everything now. I thought it looked quite good in the trailer. I do like a decent 3D platformer, so it's something I'd definitely have a look at.
Yeah. Okay. Zilpher, do you like your platforming games? And is Crash Bandicoot something you've come across over the years?
I have come across it, but I just think it's a little too mainstream.
Okay.
Because I have friends who keep talking about it to the point where it's become mainstream.
So do you like to be that person that's like, I like to play the indie games? Is that kind of your...
Yes. I like to play games people have never heard of.
Which I don't think is a bad thing, because sometimes games do get saturated. And there is more to life than Mario and Sonic sometimes.
Mm-hmm. And it's kind of like Mario and Sonic.
Yeah, because there was always... I think Crash is one of those that kind of... There's been lots of... When Mario and Sonic are obviously the two that everyone remembers.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously, there were lots of different ones that came out. Like there was Rayman. Obviously, there's Crash. There's a few others that... But some like came out and then no one ever remembers. And I think that Crash Bandicoot, probably maybe apart from, say, Spyro the Dragon, are kind of... You got Mario and Sonic up there. And then them two are just like... You remember them and they're there. And then all the rest of them are like, yeah, I've forgotten about those. So would you say it kind of... It's there. People are aware of it. But it's never going to be as big as, say, Mario and Sonic.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And, like, as soon as I start playing, like, some games, other people start to catch along, and then it becomes a whole, like, new thing. So I have to go and look for, like, a whole new game that people aren't playing.
But can't you say, well, I found it first? Can't you do that? And oh, no, it's cool to play it now because I found it first. Can't you claim that?
Yeah, I can. But then I also want to play games like no one's ever heard of.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mia, have you ever played any of the Crash Bandicoot games?
I've never played any of them, but they're the sort of thing that like I would want to play.
Yeah.
Because like that sort of thing, like friends have played as well. So like, and they've told me like good reviews about it and said that it's really fun and that I should probably like try it out and see if I like it. And that is the sort of thing I would go and get as long as it is on Xbox. Cause, but yeah, I'd definitely like go and get it just to muck around with it.
Yeah.
And just not do anything on it properly.
Yeah. I mean, as Dave said, it started off as a PlayStation exclusive when it did the first one. But as the years have gone on, it's become less exclusive. And obviously, it came out last year and came out on PlayStation 4 and Xbox at the same time. And now, in between Friday last week and going up into, I think, Friday next week, it's coming out on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and it's coming out on Switch. So now it's not an exclusive. But I guess if people love those games, then it means they've got a platform to play them on now. Also, Zilpher, bless you. You're on the talk show and you've just given me 100 cheerwall bits. So thank you. You didn't have to do that. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. As Discord says, yes, the other games that people remember are Crash, Rayman, Spyro, and Pandemonium. I don't remember that one. Do you remember? Anyone remember that? I don't remember. Pandemonium. No,
it doesn't ring a bell either. I have to Google that one, see what it was.
Yeah, you'll have to tell me, Discord, what platform that was on. I'm not familiar with that one. So what did we think? Bearing in mind that Crash has already been out, what do we think it got out of 10 for Crash Bandicoot, which is for the new sort of upgraded versions? I'll start with Dave. What do you reckon out of 10?
I'll guess an 8 for it, mate.
You got an 8, okay. Zilpher?
I think since people know the game, it'll probably get like an 8.5.
Okay. Mia?
I'm going with 8.5 as well.
Okay, awesome. Anyone in the chat? And again, Mia. Again, what was it? Our guests have put in the bits to the chat. Thank you. Thank you. Your guests, you don't have to give me money because you're guests on the channel, but thank you for the 45 Corgo bits. Thank you. Greatly appreciated. Tunes is saying a 7 out of 10. Anybody else want to have a guess as to what this might get? I will tell you that most of the people on the show today are very, very close because it got an 8 out of 10. So there you go. You're all very, very close, or hit the nail on the head. So
because I said like people know the characters and people know the game.
Yeah, and they've said it's a great game. It further improves the previous games. It's not worse than any other games, but it's certainly not better. Hence why it doesn't get a 9 out of 10. But it's just good fun to play. And it's a perfectly decent modern platformer. So there you go. Discord just said Pandemonium. It was a 1996 platform video game developed by Toys for Bob and published by Crystal Dynamics for the PlayStation, Sega Saturn, Windows, and N-Gage. Oh my life! Wow. Okay.
I was like 2 years old in 1996. So
blimey, I was 16. But there you go. I still don't remember that, Dave.
No, I'm just looking at a couple of screenshots because I was interested, but no, it doesn't ring a bell to me either.
Blimey,
completely missed that one back in the day.
Discord has bamboozled us with one. We've got one where we don't actually know what it was. I know Walker, it got 8 out of 10. People love Crash Bandicoot. I know Hales, who has been on the show, Hailstorm, she does stream Crash Bandicoot. And we always make the joke that she is the best speedrunner because she doesn't die on it constantly. That's a joke. People who've watched the streams will get what I'm on about. So there you go, 8 out of 10. And yes, if you would like a T-shirt, might as well plug this, a T-shirt or a sweatshirt or a mug, go check out the MAG merch store. If you are a VIP, you get not only 10% off the prices, but you will also get free postage and packing. Doesn't matter where you are in the world. For the next 2 months, we are being silly. We are giving you free postage and packing for the merch. There are also new items coming out at the end of the month, including the clocks, the branded MAG clocks behind me, some Mojo T-shirts, and some other Middle Gauge Gamer Guy T-shirts. So there you go. Some more stuff coming to the store very soon. End of plug. There you go.
So you'll send some to Chicago?
If you buy them, we will send them to Chicago, and there is no postage packing. We had one go to Belgium, which we sent it on Friday. They got it today. And we've got one going to Germany in a couple of weeks when they get back from work. We've got some going to Germany. So we will send it anywhere. We will pay for the next 2 months. And Zilpher, you're a VIP. You'll get 10% off. There you go. There you go. Terrible plug, but there you go. I'm just plugging the merch. There you go.
But it's really comfy, so...
It's all good. I've got to make money somehow. So there you go. Okay, because it's not fair on Zilpher and Mia to keep paying me in bits. That's not fair. So you lot watching, buy some merch if you haven't already. There you go. So yeah, Discord just said Pandemonium features Fargus, a Joker, and Nikki, a sorceress who unwittingly casts spells that destroy the town. The goal of the game is to reach the wishing engine, where they can wish the town back to normal. For each level, the player can choose which character to be. Each has a special move. Fargus can deliver a special spinning attack, and Nikki can double jump. I still don't remember that game. I might look up a trailer after the show and it might jog my memory. But if Dave don't know it, I certainly probably won't, because Dave's the guru of all games. So as well as Tunes, who's on here right now. So we're going to move on to another story. Want 245 bits? No. Stop spending money on me. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. We're going to talk about something else now. We're changing the subject from bits and cheers and marwals and you. Thank you for the cut. Oh. Thank you for the Corgo 245 bits, Maya.
Oops.
Just like you could. Oh, my finger slips on the button. There you go. Thank you.
And my phone's just died as well.
Okay, perfect. Well, that'll stop you from doing it, so that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. But thank you for doing that. So let's talk about my favourite game in the world, Halo.
Yay!
Yay!
Really.
I hate Halo. However, as I said, I am not being biased against it. We will review it when it comes on the show. I will probably play it when it comes out, and we will talk about it. Now, last week, Dave, you don't know about this. In America, they released special. Was it Halo? Halo Pringles came out?
Okay.
Which are quite rare to get, and they taste of, and you'll know this because you love Halo. They tasted of Moa burger flavor.
I saw those at Walmart.
Did you? Yeah,
I saw them.
You've seen them. I think they're limited edition. So if you can get some and tell us what they're like, that'd be amazing.
I will definitely. Next time we go to the store.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, Zilpher. That'd be awesome. But we were talking about them last week. So it's not something we can get in the UK, unfortunately. So we'd like to, if anyone else is watching this as well and has tried them or get some, go for it. Thank you. Oh, Discord, bless you. You've cheered with 5 Corgo bits. And and what's the other one you've done? I've got to see this. And the 5 show love bits. Thank you for that. Everyone's fingers are slipping. And oh, bloody hell. And another 5 cheer wall bits. Oh, God, here we go. Thank you. Appreciate it. It's appreciated, mate. Thank you. All the bits, all the cheers, all the show Corgos and narwhals and cheer walls and rainbows and candy and I'm going to stop. Right, so Halo. They gave us an update. We knew that the game had got delayed. Halo Infinite is due to come out sometime holiday season, November, December for Xbox Series X. They've kind of stated what's in the game and what's not in the game. Thank you for the Franken Z. It looks like a doggo bit. Thank you. Anyway,
not buy more bits.
Yeah, no, don't. That's it. That's it. Walker says my internet is being a bitch today. Sorry about that. Give it a slap. No, the internet, not. Oh God. Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna get myself into trouble here. So Halo. What's interesting? Another 2 RIP bit. Thank you. I'm going to stop talking about them. I'll talk about more when they come up after, if more come after, but you don't have to do it. It's fine. Halo, 2 features that everyone's used to, but they're not putting them in the game, which has kind of made a few hardcore Halo fans a bit annoyed. One is the fact that you will no longer be able to dual wield weapons, which people are a bit like, why? You can do it in every other game. There's a thing now, Dave, you'll understand this, so you might need to explain this. Playable elites. I don't know what that is, but they're not putting that in the game. Do you know what that is?
Oh, the elites are the characters in the Covenant, and you could play as one of them in Halo 2. And there's also another playable character in Halo 3 as well.
Okay.
Don't know whether that carries over to the multiplayer. I haven't read the article.
Okay, it's saying that there is not going to be any of that. I don't know whether it's multiplayer or not. I think it's for the main campaign, but there will be no playable elites. However, what they have said is things that they've added, and I'm not going to say I'm that excited about this, but there are, for the first time ever, day and night cycles being added to the game. There is weather in the game, which will change the way you play it, and it is random the way the weather comes in. And also, and this is one thing that a lot of games get wrong, you might be in a day or night cycle at night time, and it might be raining, and it jumps to the cutscene, and it's bright blue sky, and it's sunny, and it's not as it was because the cutscene was only made like that. All the cutscenes will match the weather and the day and night cycle that you're in, so it's all fluid. There's not many games that get that right. And why did Zilpher just get banned from Nightbot?
Because Nightbot's a bitch and doesn't like people giving out too many bits.
So it's actually
it was a warning. It was a warning.
Oh, was it? Where like stop giving
spamming.
The bits.
It
Stop
did that
spamming the
earlier
bits.
for Lou, and it timed him out for 5 seconds.
I know, that's weird. Can you untime out Zilpher, please, Discord, if you can, with that? That's just random. Do you know what? We changed it last week, and it was fine. And then just the last 2 nights, it's like, bang, hyperban. It's having a bit.
This is why me and Discord are better.
Yes.
Won't ban.
Nightbot
is randomly.
really hypersensitive. It's having a.
Nightbot doesn't care who you are. You get
I know. It's being mardy. It's being an arse. Stop it, Nightbot. But there you go. Sorry about that. So there you go. Yeah, we might ban Nightbot. See how it happens. And Discord, thank you. Flip it. Hang on then. So, Zilpher, did you just cheer 500 bits?
Mm-hmm.
And it banned you for cheering me.
He probably thinks you've had enough praise tonight.
Oh,
that's enough for you.
What is the software doing to me? And Discord as well, tier 26 bits. They were the Mr. Destructoid bits. What were yours, Zilpher? Because I can't see that now. That's annoying.
Oh, Cheerwall.
Oh, cool. They were the Cheerwall. It doesn't come up after it's gone, but thank you. Thank you for that. I think we need to take a look at Nightbot tunes. No shit. I think we need to take a look at Nightbot. We got to get. I don't know why it suddenly got. Unless they've done an update to it, because it seems to be getting over. Mia's just cheered another 245 call goals. The good thing about this is the deal that I've got with Dave is I do split the money with Dave on this chat show. So it's not just me getting the money. Dave will get some of this money. So thank you. So that's all right, because Dave puts a lot of effort into this show as well, and he doesn't get paid anywhere near as much as I do. So this is my way again. So Discord has just done another 4 call goes. So thank you.
Okay,
but
I'm not Nightbot anymore.
Nightbot, stop being a bitch and let people pay us. Stop it. But thank you, Zilpher. I appreciate that. The 500 bits. Okay. It's awesome. I'm not. I don't think Mia and Zilpher have played much Halo. I'll just ask that question. Have you ever? No. Okay. Okay. That's not.
I think it was a big deal in 2008 the most, because a lot of people started playing in 2008.
I think it was it's still very iconic, and I think a lot of people love it, especially because it's like an Xbox property. I mean, Dave's a big fan. I don't care for it. I've always said that. But Dave, I mean, I'll put this question to you because it's not fair to put it to Zilpher or me because they've not really played the games. Are you disappointed about the things they've taken out of the game? And do you think it makes much difference about what they've added to the game for the first time? Or do you think it's just kind of them saying, well, we're changing it up a bit? What do you think?
I don't think there's any problem with them changing things up a bit. I mean, you can't keep everything the same every game. It ends up getting a bit stale, a bit boring. Okay, they're taking dual wielding out. Play the game and see how it goes. They're adding different things into it, aren't they? You've got this grappling hook to get you around. So that'll probably give you some different ways to take on the combat. Yeah. So once people play it and try it out, they probably won't miss it. Yeah. As for the playable elites, I suppose it depends whether it's just single player you talk about. If it's just single player, then that's probably down to the story they're telling. Yeah. It's just you purely play as Master Chief, which is what people want most of the time. Because every time they've changed it, like in Halo 2 and Halo 5, where you played as someone else, everyone fucking hated it. Screamed and moaned because you didn't get to play as Master Chief for most of the game. So fine, leave it out, don't care. Yeah. As to multiplayer, I don't know. It'd be nice to think they've still got it in that side of it, but I haven't seen the full articles, so I don't know. As to the bits you said they're adding in, like this day-night cycle, weather, it could add something quite good to the maps. Right, have to wait and see.
Sorry.
And again.
Sophie's just done another 100 bit. Yeah, do you know what?
You have to give him a stern talking to after the show.
Do you know what? Shall I see if I can sort something very quickly? Let me see if I can. Yeah, I'm gonna. Well, I'm not gonna ban Nightbot because he's talking about other things. I'm just gonna see if I can.
It says you are timed out for 599 more seconds.
Yeah, we've removed the timed out, Zilpher. Don't worry. I'm gonna do that, and now it should allow any repetitions. That's bad though because repetitions are cheers. So cheers are repetitions because it's so many of the same thing. That's not your fault that you've done that. It's been turned off. Nightbot, guess who's back? Discord. Go on, son. There you go. So Nightbot has been switched off from that. I've just switched the thing. I think that's spam protection has gone mad. I wonder if they've done an update on it. So apologies. But thank you again for another 100 bits. So there you go. We'll move on. We've got another 2 games. This is a game that I think originally came out on PlayStation 2. Was very much beloved by, I know, let's say, if anyone's familiar with Outside Xbox and Outside Extra, Ellen from Outside Extra did a campaign that she said that Kingdoms of Amalur was the best game ever made and they need to do a remake. Ironically, they did. And a couple of years ago, it literally came out on the PlayStation 4. It's now come out today on Nintendo Switch. We are going to play the trailer for this, and then I'll guess who's come back because I have no idea. Discord. We'll play the trailer for this. This is Kingdoms of Amalur Rereckoning for the Nintendo Switch. Have a look, and we'll be discussing this game very shortly. Here we go. So there we go. That is Kingdoms of Amalur Re-Reckoning, which is out on the Switch. Hello, Limbo. Welcome back. He's back early. He's back early. Good to see you, Limbo. Good to have you back. Anybody familiar with Kingdoms of Amalur here? No?
I've heard plenty of it over the years, and as you say, from Outside Extra especially.
Yeah,
that Ellen always goes on about it over there. It does sound like a good game. It's just one that completely bypassed me when it first came out. So I'd have a look at it, see what it's like. I like a decent RPG. That looks like a pretty good one.
Yeah, it's your typical. Well, I say typical. People do love it. It's got a cult following. It is an RPG. You go off and do quests. You go help people. You create your character. Think of it as Skyrim before Skyrim ever appeared. That's the best way to describe it for like the PlayStation 2 generation. And as I say, it came out on PlayStation 4, etc. Thank you for the 2 party cheers, and thank you for the 3 cheers. I guess cheer bits. I don't know, the triangle, the pyramid cheers, whatever they are. But yeah, it does seem to have a cult following, and it's made its way onto Switch. Zilpher, again, you said you like certain games. This was kind of an indie game when it came out, but now it's kind of gone a bit more mainstream. Do you like RPGs? Is this kind of something that you would give a try?
I think the only RPG I've played is Skyrim.
Yeah.
But other than that, I don't like RPGs.
Okay. Do you like Skyrim though?
No.
No, you tried it and it wasn't
I tried it and it wasn't for me.
Okay.
So now I just have it sitting on my Nintendo too.
Okay.
So there.
Because that was one of the big announcements when they brought out the Switch, wasn't it? They were like, it's coming to Switch.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people bought it. But
so I know Skyrim came out and Final Fantasy came out on Switch too. So those are I think those are the two biggest games that people bought.
Yeah.
But in my perspective, it wasn't for me.
Okay. Amir, I know you've not heard of this game, but is this something that you would give a go, possibly?
It doesn't look like the sort of thing I'd want to play.
Okay.
But again, as a game we said about earlier, if it was around a mate's house and they had it, then yeah, I'd give it a go because it's not my actual game.
Yeah. So
it'd just be trying it out. Then if I liked it, playing it with my mates, then I'd possibly look at getting it. But other than that, I wouldn't really play it.
Okay. What do we reckon this got out of 10? If the chat wants to have a guess about this, let's get the scores going. I'll start with Zilpher. I say this is out for Nintendo Switch. Came out today. What do you reckon out of 10 this got?
A 7.
Okay. Mia?
7.
Okay. Dave?
I'll go for 8.
You're going for an 8. Anyone in the chat want to have a guess? I can say that it's a perfectly decent port of the game. Obviously, it's ported originally from PlayStation 2, hence why the graphics look a little bit older, etc. They have touched it up a bit to make it look a little bit more modern and swanky. Tune says a 7 out of 10. I can tell you that everyone got it right except Dave because it got a 7 out of 10. Discord says 5. Bit late. Never mind. There you go. No, 7 out of 10 is the general scores across the internet for this RPG. So if you're a fan of the original and you haven't already got the Rereckoning version on PlayStation 4, you can get it on Switch now. Give it a try. It is perfectly decent conversion of this classic cult game. And I'm sure we'll probably see lots of streams of Ellen from Outside Extra playing it on their channel. I would have thought they'll probably be playing it till the cows come home. So there you go.
I think I would watch someone play it, and if I actually do get into it, then I'll buy it for myself.
Okay. Then I am going to say, go check out Outside Extra, which is the sister channel to Outside Xbox, because Outside Extra covers everything on the Switch, PC, Extra. Ellen, who's one of the presenters, loves that game, and you will find a load of videos that she's done about it because it's her favourite game of all time. So go and watch it. And I love those lovely people at Xbox and Extra to bits. And I'll talk about that another time. There you go. So, funnily enough, we mentioned Skyrim just a little bit earlier on because the latest Elder Scrolls Online, which is obviously linked to Skyrim and the other games like Oblivion, etc., DLC Flames of Ambition came out today for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. It's not out on the newest things. Normally, we don't review DLCs, but a lot of the Elder Scrolls Online DLCs are way bigger than your typical DLC. Like, you will sink hours into it. It's almost like a separate game in itself. This came out today. We're going to play the trailer. Now, the only thing I'm going to say is don't bother guessing any scores because I could not find any reviews of this because it literally came out today and I couldn't get any reviews. So I will tell you what it got on next week's show, but we'll have a look at this and see what we've got. So here we go. This is Elder Scrolls Online, and this is Flames of Ambition. And here is the trailer. Here we go.
The stories I've read tell of how these lands once thrived. Before the cultists, before the chaos and fire.
Watching these pathetic mortals bores me. Meddling with power they don't comprehend.
This destruction, this plotting and scheming, it must be stopped.
A deal has been struck. He is coming. Dagon.
There you go. So that is Flames of Ambition, which, as you can see, is part of a bigger thing called Gates of Oblivion. Means absolutely nothing to me because I don't play Elder Scrolls Online. But obviously, we were talking about Bethesda and the fact that Elder Scrolls Online has been added to Game Pass. You won't get this free on Game Pass. I'm going to say that now. It's a new thing that's literally come out. This came out on PC literally a couple of weeks ago, but this is the Xbox One and PlayStation 4 version. Now, I know what Zilpher's going to say because she's tried Skyrim, so I reckon you're not going to be interested in this, are you?
No.
it just like if you'd said, I think if you said, "Oh, I love Skyrim," I would have been like, "Right, I know what Zilpher's going to say. She's going to love this." It was kind of like I knew you would.
It's a hard pass.
Mia, what do you reckon? Would this be something you would give a try, especially if the main base game is on Game Pass right now?
It looks like a sort of thing I'd like give it a go and like play for an hour, see if I'd like it.
Yeah.
But then, like, if I liked it, then yeah, I'd keep playing it. But yeah, but I would actually give it a go and like see because it looks alright.
Okay. All right, Dave, do you play much? I played any of like Skyrim or Elder Scrolls or Oblivion or any of the things tied into the Elder Scrolls?
I've played a couple of the Elder Scrolls games. I played 4, which was called Oblivion, which has some of the Oblivion gates in that you can see in the trailer for this new one. And I played a reasonable amount of Skyrim. I think I probably put about 40, 50 hours into each one before I ended up giving up on them. So I play a decent amount, and they're good games. Yeah. But I tend to enjoy them as single-player games. I never really felt like I needed to go in, do a massive multiplayer version of it. Like loads of random people, I've no idea who they are. So it doesn't particularly grab me playing it in that mode. I'm more likely to just sit around and wait for the Elder Scrolls 6 to come out in a few years' time and just jump into that one instead.
Okay. All right. As I say, we can't really get any... I'm getting bombarded. Everyone's trying to derail me hard tonight with all these cheers and bits, which are greatly accepted. Thank you. Do you know what? Before I get onto this, let's just think. So Discord has done 1 RIP cheer. Thank you. 3 uni bombers. Trust you. Uni bomber cheers. And 1 Dan's game, whoever Dan is. And Zilpher, thank you for showing 150 bits and showing some love. Hello, Ganj. How you doing? You put thousands of hours into Skyrim. Do you know what? Again, it's not something I don't think I could do. I would give it a whirl, like me. I'd give it a whirl. I don't think it's never grabbed me. But I'll give it a try. I think. But when we do see some reviews, we will talk about it on next week's show. It's very rare that we get games that come out on the day that we did a show that we don't get review scores, because the next 2 games we're going to talk about came out today and I've got review scores, so it's a bit weird, but we will talk about that next week. On to a little bit more news now. A couple of things that have cropped up. So Xbox and Game Pass yet again are kicking ass because Outriders, which a demo came out for a couple of weeks ago, everyone's been raving about Outriders, and it's coming soon. And it has been announced that if you've got Game Pass on Xbox, you will get it for free on the day of release, which has pissed people off on the PlayStation, etc. But interestingly enough, it won't come to Game Pass on the PC. We don't know the reasons why yet. it's an interesting one. They did a bit of a funny ad campaign with a fake person on Twitter talking about it. And what they're saying is they think they might have picked the day that it comes out a bit wrong because it's due to come out on April Fool's Day. And they said, please, can you know that this is coming out on April Fool's Day on Game Pass for free, but this is not an April Fool's joke. It is actually coming out. Do you think they could have picked a better day for this? I'm going to start with Zilpher. I mean, do you think they could have waited a week and then that way people wouldn't think this is an April Fool's joke?
Yeah.
Do you think this is like...
You know what? People are going to like look at this game and they're going to be like, is this a joke? Or is it not? It's going to say like, it's going to say free. And then when people like buy it, it's going to be like, you have to pay this much.
$60.
Yeah.
But do you think it's, even though it's probably not the best day to pick, do you think it's a clever marketing ploy? Because now everyone's talking about it because they're like, well, is it a joke or is it not? Are we going to get this free? So do you think it's a clever marketing thing that they've done?
Yeah. Because people are going to actually see if it's like free.
Yeah. What do you reckon? What do you reckon, Mia, about this?
I think they could have definitely picked a better day. Because, I mean, for one, if I saw something was coming out on April Fool's Day and it was going to be free, I'd be like, hang on a minute. I don't believe that. Like, until I see it and I actually see, oh wait, they're actually not kidding. It is actually free on like April Fool's Day. I'm never gonna believe it. Like until I actually see, oh wait, they're actually not kidding.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I think it's a clever like marketing ploy, as you said, because like it'll get people talking about it, and then more people would be like, okay, I might see if that's actually true or not, which is quite clever to get people to actually download the game. Or like look at the game and then download it.
And Dave, there's been a lot of talk about this game. We mentioned it on a show a couple of weeks ago. I think we might have even played the trailer, I think, on one of our games of the potential games of the year show at the start of the year. Again, this is a very sneaky move by Microsoft, isn't it? Because it's going to piss a lot of people off that have got it we're going to buy it on other platforms. They've even said if you have pre-ordered it and paid money, you can get, if you've got Game Pass Ultimate or Game Pass, you can get your money back because they're happy to give it you on Game Pass, which is like amazing. So do you think this is, again, Microsoft going, ha, 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 Sony, stick it?
Well, yeah, it's another good win, isn't it? It just looks good. Another, brand new game out day one for you to just download for free on the Game Pass. It's great. And there'll probably be a lot of people that would have just let this game pass them by. Because I think when the demo came out, it got a few sort of bit of negative feedback, didn't it?
Yeah.
About various bits and pieces, which I think the devs have tidied some of it up as it's gone along. But there would have been a lot of people who just ignored it and thought, forget it. Another sort of, I know it's not a live service game, but that's what it looked like when it was first coming out. It looked like it was going to be live service. So a lot of people probably would just let it pass them by. Now it's just there on Game Pass. You probably just think, oh, I'll have a go. I think I will, because I wasn't going to bother with it. But now I know it's coming out that day and it's a co-op game. I'll probably download it, play it with one of my mates.
Oh, I'd give it a go. There's a lot of hype about this. But yeah, it's an interesting one. Discord, thank you for the 35 ear rolls. Blimey, still going. There you go. At least it's not banning people now. Nightbot's behaving. It's not banning people for paying us money, crazy as it is. Another little thing about games and stuff. Nintendo have announced that they hope to ship the most amount of games they've ever done this year. They reckon they're going to hit 250 million games shipped and sold this year, which is an amazing feat. They've normally surpassed about 202, 220 million before. This could be a big year for the Switch because not only they reckon they're going to hit those targets, and we'll know in May when they release all their accounts whether that'll happen. But also, we talked about this on last week's show. You've got this Nintendo Switch Pro that's coming out with a bigger screen and 4K graphics. So do you think that Nintendo will still dominate the market as it did last year? they've done well. I'll start with Dave on this.
I think quite possibly. Yeah, it depends on the games they bring out. Really, at the end of the day, I mean, they couldn't have timed Animal Crossing better last year, could they? It just came out at the perfect time where everyone was locked in. So just loads of people just got it, and it probably helped give a bit of, I can't forgot the words I use, but just a structure to your day. You were stuck in lockdown, perhaps not working, bugger all to do. You got this game that had structure that you could follow, so it gave you a bit of normality. I think a lot of people like that, and that did the business for them. And they've had loads of other good games coming out as well. A few more Marios, probably might be another Zelda out towards the end of this year if we're lucky. Yeah. So they've got lots of good games to just keep those numbers going.
Yeah, I think they'll do really well. Mia's just done another 95 call. Go Blitz.
I'm buying all these specials to send you. You do realise this?
So say that again.
I'm literally buying them specifically just to send them to you.
I know, and I greatly appreciate that. You've gone crazy. You've gone bits crazy.
That's why we were laughing.
Oh dear.
I could see Middle starting to laugh. I was like, don't laugh.
Oh,
don't laugh.
This guy was talking. I saw it pop up on the screen, and I was like, oh my life. It's official. This is probably the most money I have made from Cheers in one session. I'll have to look back after we finish the show. I'll post it in the Discord, but this might be between Gabriella, Mia, and Discord. This will be the most ever Cheers I've ever had in one go. So there you go. Nuts. So I'm gonna quickly jump the question back over to Zilpher, because as you said, you got a Nintendo. Are you looking forward to some of the new games that are coming out, and are you going to stick with the Nintendo you got, or would you be tempted to get the newer one that's coming out before Christmas?
Not any yet. None of them piqued my interest. Yeah.
What games do you mainly play on your Nintendo at the moment?
I play a lot of like Smash Bros and Animal Crossing. That's pretty much it.
Okay. And they've been announcing some new stuff for that game, haven't they? So is that kind of you'll spend more time with that game when they bring more content out? Is that kind of your thing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because my friends like to play Smash, so I play with them. But then Animal Crossing is more like me, and I get to do like me time where no one else is bothering me. That's,
I think, the thing, and I think that's why, as Dave said, Animal Crossing was at the best time they could have released that, because it sold tons and tons of copies, and it is a game that you can take your way. So I know Dave's wife plays it, or my wife plays it. They love that game because you can just take yourself onto your little world and do what you want. And I think that's the reason it's so popular.
I think I've spent like about 50 hours on my island.
Okay.
Yeah. And the most I've spent in one sitting is like 26 hours where I didn't even sleep.
In one go?
Yeah.
Wow. 26 hours in one go. That's amazing.
Because that's how addicting it is.
Yeah.
And then when you're locked in, you don't have to think about going to work or like school or anything.
Yeah. That's true. Blimey. If anybody else knows what the world record for the longest session of playing Animal Crossing, if it's less than 26 hours, we need to make sure that Zilpher has got the world record. That's what we need to do.
I've seen someone play it for 38 hours.
Oh, damn it.
So I don't know.
Okay, it's 50 hours, 53 minutes, and 48 seconds. That's the world record.
That's over 2 days straight.
And that was done on Twitch by a user called P4NTZ.
Oh,
and he completed it to 100%.
Complete.
I think I can beat the record.
Go for it.
We try and do it. Should we set something up in the summer? And because I was planning to do a 24-hour charity stream in the summer, but by the sounds of it, you want to do a 60-hour Animal Crossing stream.
Absolutely.
If you do
we'll try and raise a
24-hour
load of money for
show,
charities on the channel. We'll do like a cross thing somehow. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll come up with an idea. There you go. You heard it here first, folks. Animal Crossing charity stream. There we go. So there you go. We're going to talk about our last two games of the evening because we've got about 15, 16, 17 minutes of the show left. This is a brand new game. This came out also today. This is a psychological horror mystery game. It came out today on PS4, PS5, Xbox S, X, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. So it's pretty much on everything but Stadia. That's it. We can't get it on. This is a game called Mundaun. We'll watch the trailer for this, and then we'll have a chat and see what we think. Here we go. So there you go. That is Mundaun, which is out on pretty much every platform, which is a psychological horror game. Now, seeing as Zilpher, you like Dead by Daylight, would this be the kind of thing you would play?
Kind of.
Do you like horror games that are a bit more actiony, like Dead by Daylight, or do you like the sort of mystery ones? I'm trying to think of some names of some, but it's gone right out of my head. But there are the games. Dave will probably come up with some in a minute. Like Layers of Fear.
I think the only reason I like Dead by Daylight is because it's more gory horror. Yeah. So I like it. I like things like that.
Okay. Okay. Mia, would this be something that you would give it a go?
No.
Okay.
Even though I like that sort of thing, like watching it, like on streams and stuff, it wouldn't be the sort of thing I'd play purely because I would get too scared.
Okay.
Even just from that trailer, I was like, I don't like this. This is too freaky for me.
It's too creepy.
Like the clock ticking.
Yeah.
Like stuff like that. That does it for me. I'm like, no. I even turned the volume down because I didn't like it.
So you prefer to watch someone stream this rather than play this thing? Okay. All right. And Dave, do you like your psychological horror games, or is it not really something you would play?
Yeah, I like the more psychological ones. Okay.
What ones have you played? I've just been...
A good recent example is The Medium, because that's more of a psychological horror. I don't think there's any combat in that one at all. That is just, more of a horror mystery, really, sort of solving the puzzles around the hotel to get to the roots of it. I've played a little bit of that and quite enjoyed it. And this one looks pretty cool. I like the sort of the graphical style they've done with it. It's all pencil drawn textures that the artists have done. It just looks really cool. Got this sort of nice otherness, nice creepy feel to it.
Yeah.
So I prefer something like that to Dead by Daylight. I'm not that fussed about the really gory ones.
Okay, that's cool. So we've got a completely different difference of opinion here, which is good. This is why we do these shows, because no one has a right or wrong opinion. It's everyone's opinions mixed in, which is why we do this show. So I have got scores for this. Thank you, Zilpher, again for the 245 uni game.
You're gonna hate us by the end of this stream.
I know. I might be the first person on Twitch to ban bits, but then I'd be stupid to do that, wouldn't I? Because I'd never make any money. Because I've got lots of people like you, donating bits to the channel. So what do we reckon this got out of 10 for the scores? Dave, I'll start with you on this one.
I'm going to go for 8.
Okay. Mia?
8.
Okay. And Zilpher?
7.5.
Okay. And Discord's coming with 7.6. Really accurate. And actually, Discord did say something earlier. The charity stream was his original idea. I should say that. It was a charity stream for Sea of Thieves. We were going to do it last year, and then we never got round to it. So if I do my charity stream this year, which is highly likely, that was his idea. Zilpher's 60-hour Animal Crossing stream, though, is Zilpher's idea, and I do not own the copyright or anything like that because that is Zilpher's idea, which is cool. Tune says a 7.76 358346782694390390 and a half. Well, I can tell you were Tunes. You were 0.763583467826943990 and a half off because it got 7 out of 10. That's what it got. They said it's a perfectly good game. Again, it's an indie game. Graphically, it's quite dull colours and that. But if you like that sort of thing, you would like that game. But it's a good horror. It'll make you jump in places, and it's got a good story to it. So it gets a 7 out of 10. Our last game, I know, Rat says Tunes. Last game. Again, this is a game that's been out before. It is a beat-em-up game, but it has finally come to. Oh my God, Mia's put in other scores. That is part of pie. That is true. This is Samurai Showdown. That is called on the trailer something slightly different because the Japanese version, I believe, is called Samurai Spirit. But this came out for the Series X today. So this is the beat 'em up Samurai Showdown. We're going to watch the trailer and then we'll have a chat about whether it's good or not, or whether we like these sort of games. Also, if you think after you watch the trailer, get the chat to put in what sort of score you thought this got out of 10. Here we go with Samurai Showdown. This is the Series S and X trailer. Here we go.
Let's do this! つまみに刻み込め！はい。私の剣をお望みくね。奇遇だね。出直せ！殺す！私の女神。覚悟してくれ。悪いの切らせて。貴様の風捕らえたぞ！俺の風からは逃げられない！沈みだ！覚悟めされよ！ここまでにいたせ。この先には行かせません。殺す。
So there we go. Samurai Showdown, or as it's known over in Japan, Samurai Spirits. That is your sort of beat 'em up game. We've lost Mia. Mia's disappeared. We've lost her. Either that or her internet connection's just gone off. But if she comes back, we'll bring her back in, bless her. But we'll carry on the show. It happens. Internet. It's great when it works. Dave, beat 'em up games. Fan, yay or nay?
Yeah, I'm a fan. I don't play many of them.
Okay.
If I play any these days, it's mostly Soul Calibur. Soul Calibur 6 been free on Game Pass. I've had a little double of that recently. I've been quite enjoying that one. Yeah. This one, it looks okay, but I can't say it's going to be one I'm going to play to any great degree. Okay. One thing I never really get around to doing in fighting games is spending the time to learn all the combos. That's what you need to do to get good at these to any decent level. Spend the time with it. And I don't. I just jump into them every now and again.
Okay. Zilpher, beat 'em up games, yay or nay?
No.
The graphics, the characters kind of look like they belong in Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, I think they're very sort of anime style, aren't they?
Yeah. And I never liked Dragon Ball Z.
Is there any fighting games you have played, or again, is it a genre that you're like, nope, not going to play that?
I watched the trailers before I actually play the games. So.
Okay.
And if someone talks about them a lot, then I'll definitely try them out.
Okay. Well, is there any particular that you've liked recently?
No.
Okay. All right. No worries. So what do we reckon this got? Discord has already said 6.8 out of 10. Tunes is going for 7.5. Zilpher, I'll start with you. What do you reckon?
Maybe I'll go with 7.5.
Okay. Dave?
I'll go for 8 again.
Okay, you go for 8. Dave, you got it. It got an 8 out of 10. Again, it's very much the game that's loved more in Japan than over here. But they've done a perfectly decent job of putting it onto the new Series X. Plays wonderfully. It's very fluid. If you love those type of games, you'll love it. 8 out of 10 for Samurai Showdown. So there you go. That is all our games for this evening. We are going to talk about one more news story and a little bit. Mia's disappeared, which is worrying because I want to talk about something. Brought Mia in. And Zilpher's just cheerwalled again. 65 cheerwalls. Thank you so much, Zilpher. I think you're just doing this to wind me up now, aren't you?
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah. So just as a recap, the games we talked about tonight, Monster Energy Supercross 4, which is out for PS4, 5, Xbox, XS1, PC and Stadia, got a 6 out of 10. Cyanide and Happiness out on PC and Switch, got 5 out of 10. Dead by Daylight, the PS5 version, got 9 out of 10. Pixel Junk Raiders out on Stadia, got a 4 out of 10. Crayta out on PC, got 7 out of 10. Crash Bandicoot 4, the new Switch, PS5 and Series X and S versions, got 8 out of 10. Kingdoms of Amaular Rereckoning out for the Switch, got 7 out of 10. Elder Scrolls Online Flames of Ambition is out on PS4 and Xbox One, but we don't know whether it's good or not. We'll let you know next week. Mundaun out on PS4, 5, Xbox One, and Series X and S, Switch and PC, 7 out of 10. And Samurai Showdown for the Series X and S gets an 8 out of 10. Those have been our games this week. There'll be more games next week. Not sure if there's any big name games again. I don't think there's anything until really end of April or start of April now. I think it's going to be more indie games. And at least we didn't have any JRPGs this week. They've been driving me mad.
That'll be next week.
Yeah.
Scraping the barrel with them next week.
There'll be 20 JRPGs we've got to review next week. But there you go. So here's a funny little story. We normally do a funny little video to end the stream with, but there's 2 little stories I want to end with. This one's a bit more peculiar. The other one is kind of a thing that I'm hoping Mia comes back before we finish the show. If she doesn't, she'll have to watch it on catch-up, ironically. So this first one is started with a tweet where some game developers said, oh, Mia's Wi-Fi's gone down. Okay, no problem. Thank you for letting me know. Oh, dear. Okay, well, hopefully if it comes back on in the next 5 minutes, you can come back in. So fingers crossed for you, Mia. A tweet went out from some game developers going, do you realise how difficult it is to put doors in games? Yes, that's right, people. I said doors, the things you open and close. And it started a mass conversation, this tweet, across the internet with lots of different game developers going, you're right. They're absolute pain in the arse having doors in games because you have to program them to open, close. If you can destroy doors, then they have to disappear. The fact that they lead into other areas. So sometimes you have games where you'd open a door and it would load the next area. But now you open doors and you don't load, it loads you into, puts you into another area. There's been a whole conversation. And one of the biggest named people that came up with this was Naughty Dog, who are the people responsible for Last of Us, saying, God, yeah, if we can get away with not putting doors in our games, that would be amazing. Dave, this started a whole Twitter, not an argument, but a whole Twitter discussion. What do you think about this?
It's funny, isn't it? Because sometimes you just don't think these things are actually that tricky. It's just a door, isn't it? You just use them in real life. Can't be that complicated in the game. But yeah, for the sense of it, it's a lot more work than we thought. So I'd be surprised there isn't little bits and pieces that come up here and there that say, yeah, and this as well makes it hard.
It's game developers have said building walls, building stairs, doing that in games, piece of cake. Doors are the bane of their existence. Zilpher, would you think that something that seems as simple as a door could be so complicated to program?
Well, when you think about it, they're going to build a door that needs to go into somewhere else.
Yeah.
So I think it would be hard.
Especially if there's no loading times with a lot of these games. They used to use doors as a way to go, oh, you're loading into the next area or next level. And now there's none of that, because say if you take a game like, say, Resident Evil 7 or something like, you can actually, or there's some other games, you can actually destroy the doors so they don't exist anymore. So you literally can see all the way down the corridor. So I'm guessing you can appreciate that it's a very difficult thing to do.
Another thing I'm thinking of is, like, what if a door has two sides? Like, one door looks like the next level you're going into, and the other door just looks like the door you just went through.
Yeah. I think there's someone said about, and I'll put this back to Dave as well, the physics of it, because obviously some doors will slide, some doors will open, push or pull. It says the physics, because when they used to make games, doors used to knock your character back, because obviously it's moving something out of the way in the area, so your character, but now they have to program it so when you open a door, it doesn't like push your character back or push your character forward. So there's obviously a lot of things that go into something that's so simple. Do you think there's anything else, Dave, that would cause a discussion like this?
There's gonna be some things. I can't think of it off the top of my head. I mean, the doors on is pretty good. I know the one thing Naughty Dog did say as well about doors in their games was it wasn't just the fact you have to, about opening it. It was about it closing behind the character as well. Because they're saying, like, in Last of Us 2, you want doors to close behind you so you can get away from the monsters. But as your character goes through, they haven't got an animation for them to reach back and close it. Because usually that would happen, wouldn't it? You'd reach back, close it with your hand. Yeah. But usually you in those games, you might be running through pretty quickly, and it would just be natural if they did that way. So they just ended up doing it, so the doors just naturally just slowly close. That's how they got past that bit of avoiding an ugly animation that just wouldn't fit in.
Right, because you take like other games, like especially your big shooters like Call of Duty and PUBG. If you're hiding from other people, you can open and close doors so it looks like you haven't been in that building as a tactic. So yeah, there's loads of things to consider with that, which is absolutely nuts. But who would know that doors, those things that you open and close, caused a whole discussion on Twitter this week? It's bizarre, but I thought I'd add that in. It doesn't look like Mia's going to get back in, and we literally got like 2 minutes to show. But this story, this last story, is dedicated to Mia, as Mia knows that every time we mention that certain game that always used to be in our show every week, but we've managed to get away a few weeks without mentioning it. We're talking about Cyberpunk. Oh, and Mia's back. I think Mia's back. Yes, Mia's back. Hello, Mia.
Hi. I swear if I've come back in and you're talking about Cyberpunk, I'm leaving again.
We are talking about Cyberpunk, but not how you think. Not how you think. So don't leave. Discord did say if you, and this news story is courtesy of Discord. He said if I can find a news story for Mia about Cyberpunk, it's going to drive around the bend. However, it's not that kind of stuff. I'm going to share my screen. I put in the thing is what is Keanu Reeves up to? And this is what I'm going to show you. This is not a video. This was a tweet that went out. Hello, hey all. How you doing? You're lurking again. Good to see you. We were talking about you earlier because we were talking about Crash Bandicoot 4 and how you speedrun those games. I'm going to share my screen because Keanu Reeves, obviously, is in Cyberpunk. And obviously, Cyberpunk has got a lot of slating for the way that it's been dealt with and stuff. But however, this is Keanu Reeves in his local comic book store. And what is he purchasing? Cyberpunk merchandise. He is buying his own Johnny Silverhand figurine. Now, these were the figurines I was talking about on the show last night. He has said he wanted to buy something to remember his time on working on the game, because he is quite proud that he did that work and got asked to work on that game, and he wanted to buy something to commemorate that. And I think that is pretty cool, regardless of what state the game is in. Everybody knows Keanu Reeves is a pretty cool guy anyway. I think that's really nice. So he said, he's even played some of the game, and he didn't comment on the state of the game, but he said for the bits that he played, he did enjoy it. So, I think it's rather cool that he's done that. I'm going to put this question out. One, do you think that's cool that Keanu has done that? And two, do you think more celebrities that feature in games should kind of go, well, I've been paid a load of money on this and I'm proud of this work. So yeah, let's shout about it some more. I'll ask Mia first, because we did say this was going to be a cyberpunk thing first. So here we go.
I think it's pretty cool the fact that he's actually like going and buying something from the game he worked on.
Yeah.
I mean, even though I hate the game, like with a passion, it's still, I like Keanu Reeves. I think he's like a pretty cool person.
Yeah.
The fact that he's in the game that, I don't particularly enjoy and everyone knows I don't particularly enjoy it. But like, I still think it's pretty cool that he's actually like going and like buying something to remember like his time making the game. Because that's like the sort of thing that like I do. Like if I'm doing something like big that I think is big, I'll go and get something to like remember it by.
Yeah.
Which is always really nice.
See, that figurine that's there is that one I was talking about, that they're only like 12 quid to buy. And we ended up a load turn up at our warehouse by accident, and they were meant for the people at the other end of the industrial estate. And I did consider stealing them, which I didn't. I gave them back. But, I might buy one. When I found out they're only 12 quid, I wanted to buy one, but I think it's cool. Zilpher, what do you think about this? This was literally yesterday he bought this as well. So.
Okay, I fangirl over Keanu Reeves, so now I might go play the game. But I think it's pretty cool that he did something where he stepped out of his like comfort zone. It's not like movies.
Yeah.
So he did something totally different. And I think people are going to appreciate him for doing that. And he should be proud of himself.
Yeah. I mean, it's cool. It's very cool. Dave, your opinion?
Yeah, it's pretty good of him, isn't it? Obviously, he enjoyed what he did. Wants to get something to remember it by, so yeah. Why not go buy a figurine? Pretty cool.
Yeah. It's cool because, like people, if they do films, they might win awards or get things, or there might be articles. With games, it's a bit of a different thing unless you own a copy of the game. But, he probably always will be an iconic character. So whenever people think about Cyberpunk, they're going to think of two things. They're going to think about that game that wasn't finished and Keanu Reeves. So he will probably, in 10, 20 years, 30 years' time, people will be like, yeah, Keanu Reeves, that big major actor, he was in that game. That's cool. And I think that's really cool that they've done that. Thank you for the raid, Circus Digi. Appreciate it. Really appreciate it. Thanks for raiding us. So there you go. So Keanu Reeves, as Gabriella said, fanboying over Keanu. And I think he's rather awesome. So he gets a big thumbs up from me. So good on you, Keanu, for doing that. Ladies and gents, that is it from us. That is another show. Can you believe that was 2 hours? We've done 2 hours. It flies by.
Don't feel like it.
Doesn't feel like it. It may do for certain people who watch and have to put up with me. But, there we go. We will be back next week with another TNGC with all the latest gaming news and all the latest games. Firstly, I'd like to thank everyone in the chat and everyone that has been ploughing the channel with all the bits. For the
Mia.
I can see Mia's got her phone out already, so we know where this is going. I'm going to try and wrap this up. No, good. No more. Stop. Just stop. Just stop. Stop. It's very kind of you, but just stop. We want to finish the show. I want to go to bed. Thank you so much to everyone that's done that. But more so, thank you to Dave, as always, as my... Oh, God. There you go. Samir for the 95 Corgo bits and Zilpher for another 100 Corgo bits. This is hilarious. Thank you so much. Firstly, thank you to Dave He's back this week, which is great. Great to have you back, Dave. Thank you.
Pleasure as always, mate.
Co-host and our special guests. See, that's what you've done to me. I can't even speak English anymore now. That's what you've done.
You could speak English before.
Well, yeah, that's true. It's very loose English. Thank you to Mia, live and direct, all the way over from Coventry Way, and thank you to Zilpher, aka Gabriella, all the way over from Chicago, Illinois. Thank you so much for being here and being our guest this week. And Circus Digi, thank you so much for the sub that's just come through, for the tier 1 sub. Greatly appreciated. Really appreciate that. I am going to say thank you to all my guests and everyone in the chat. I am back tomorrow night with more Sea of Thieves. It is the final day for the Festival of Fishing. So we've got to catch those last fish. Otherwise, we're not going to get those special fishing rods. So find out whether we do it or not at 9 o'clock tomorrow night, UK time. GMT.
Fishing.
Festival of Fishing.
Brilliant
the
stuff.
Most uninteresting thing in the game. Yay! But there are new missions coming the next day, and we will be doing them on Friday's show. There's new Gold Hoarder missions coming into the game on Friday for 2 weeks, so we'll be doing them on Friday's show. Thank you so much to everyone, wherever you are in the world. As I always say, have a great morning, afternoon, or night, and we will see you very shortly for another TNGC next Tuesday. So thank you, everyone, and goodbye.
Bye.
Bye,
Take care.
everyone.
Woo!